So these guys have what it takes on the defensive side to be successful. Their numbers are good. They're holding opponents under 4 yards a carry. They're holding teams under 100 yards a game rushing. So that is going to be a real challenge for us, given left side looks like it's still going to be out. Given their priority is going to be stopping the run and forcing Jordan Love into obvious drop back situations, taking away the under center play action pass, taking away the pistol play action pass, getting into second and long, getting into third and long, forcing him to be that guy, right? And we don't know if Watson's going to be an 8-play player, questionable. Is he going to be a 30-play guy? How many times can he run deep? How many times can we afford to test that hamstring? Those are the questions that they're going to have to answer during this game. Now, we got a rookie target in Sam Laporta. This guy got targeted, I want to say 8 times this last game. Yeah, 8 for 84 and a touchdown, okay, including a big play that will show. He's the second on the team right now with 18 total receptions. They can keep him in the game for an inline blocker. They can use him in motion. He has a knack for getting open. He's a very, very athletic individual. He has really good technique and hip drive. He's only going to get better. I can't. He's on the Lions. I can't speak highly enough about this guy, about Brian, about all those first 4 rookies, man, are really, really good players. They're going to make a difference on this team. They already are. This play should look familiar to Green Bay Packer fans who watched the game last season, the last game of the season where they knocked us out of the playoff contention. I'm sure it looks familiar to the Packers, but you see Laporta go here. He goes corner post, away from the grain, beats everybody, easy walk-in touchdown. Exact same play from last year. They just pulled it out, dressed it up a little bit differently. But because they have one of those tight ends like we have with Musgrave, who can just dart, he can run like a receiver, right? They're going to use that guy because that's the most advantageous position in football right now, in my opinion, is that difference maker at the tight end position where the team doesn't exactly know how to play him. Now they're shuffling their offensive line. Taylor Decker was out, first-round draft pick for them, so they moved Penei Sewell over, who's a first-round draft pick, highly touted guy now from Oregon, moved him over to left tackle. They had to bring in multiple guys to fill in over at the right guard and right tackle spot. So Vitaly Halapulavati is out. They brought in Graham Glasgow. He is not the same kind of player, but he's a 7-year pro. Then they had to bring in Matt Nelson, and Matt Nelson gets hurt. I think, unfortunately, I showed the play, but Matt Nelson gets hurt in this game. So now they bring in a 5th-round pick rookie, Kobe Sorsdal. I don't know what they're going to do for this game. I got to imagine they're hoping that Taylor Decker's back, right? It's a short week, though. But this is a real problem for them because this is the best part of their offense. They're good everywhere. They got great skill position players. But this is the best part of their offense. Frank Ragnow and company, Jonah Jackson, Penei Sewell, those guys are one of the best offensive lines in the business. Okay, but their rushing is not where it should be right now simply because they don't have their guys. And Hank Fraley's doing a great job. They've only given up 3 sacks. I think Jared Goff's done a great job of getting rid of the football. It's just not quite the same right now because they're not getting the movement that they're used to. See Gibbs in the backfield here, just gets swallowed up. We miss on the tackle tight end. A lot of that stuff has to do with footwork, has to do with timing, just being familiar with the position and people you're playing around. You go backside here. And when you look at some of this stuff, this is because their starter, David Montgomery, is out. They had to bring in Craig Reynolds from San Francisco. Craig misses this hole. This isn't out the gate. The linebackers are going to close in on him. It's probably a 10-yard gain, though, right? But you missed the hole. And these are the opportunities where sometimes when you're watching these games, it's not just about the outcome. It's never really about the outcome. It's like, well, what did we miss? What's the process? Are we doing things the right way? This team is very, very well coached up front. They create some holes, not as many as they will when they're fully healthy, but we can say the same thing about the Green Bay Packers. But they've got guys, especially with this Gibbs kid, and if David Montgomery's healthy, we know what he was because the Chicago Bears dropped a lot of yards per carry on us because of that dude and Justin Fields. So we know they have talent there at the running back position. Sometimes they just miss the openings. It's where Nelson gets hurt, unfortunately. They have what I think is an elite skill group, and I'm talking about all of the skill position players. We're talking about Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then Khalif Raymond was a real player in this game. They're going to, I think Marvin Jones is listed as the starter. Khalif Raymond is a burner. He played in this game. He got a ton of looks. And then I can't say enough about Sam Laporte and the job that he's doing. But we see Raymond here, open in the middle, super easy target. Ben Johnson does a good job of just making things real simple for this quarterback, offensive line, and receiver group. They just got a 2x2. They turn it into a 3x2 with the wheel route. And I mean, Jared Goff is if he's got his feet set, he is an elite ball thrower. That's Jesse Bates that we saw in Atlanta. The guy had 2 picks the game before. Everyone's got their eyes on him. He's sneaky in the way he reads coverage or reads route schemes. Okay, he breaks on this early, and Jared Goff saves this ball and probably this player by throwing it back shoulder and bringing him down. This is like a masterful throw by Goff. You see Bates here, number 3. He comes from across the field, breaks on this ball, and this could be a lights out play right here. But Goff throws him open, throws him away from harm. Elite ball thrower. Now we got speed to vertical, bottom of the screen, almost jukes the guy out of his shoes. These guys can play. I don't know why more teams don't go speed to vertical. I know this is like a new thing, but doing across the field, just full speed run. We saw it. It's become like even more in vogue now because of Miami. But you just think, I know teams have done this before, but it's like, it almost feels like if you've got a burner or a guy that needs to get going a little bit, why in God's name wouldn't you be running somebody in motion every single play as fast as they can go and just burn up field and press leverage? Because none of these DBs are ready for it. So we got the old rub route on the top. Patriot, made famous by the Patriots, right? So that Patriot rub route, they're going to, outside guy's going to quote unquote run the quick slant. He can only touch him within a yard. He touches him with more. I believe they get a penalty here, but Ben will bring out anything that it takes to get these guys wide open. Expect to see something like this if we play press up. Fortunately or unfortunately, we don't play too much press man. Now the question is really, when you're looking at the Lions, can you move Jared Goff? They have a great offensive line. I know some of them are banged up, but if you can get to Jared Goff and make him feel pressure coming in from the side or coming in from the right side, from the right side of his throwing arm, he loses accuracy. He's not good on the run, especially to his left. He's just not that kind of quarterback. He's a traditional stand in the pocket, plant your feet, let her rip. He's got a great arm. But if you can get him to move a little bit, which I think Penei Sewell gets walked back by Bud Dupree here, right? Doesn't get rid of the ball, rolls out, ends up taking this one. Now you see Grady Jarrett beats Frank Ragnow here. I think he actually beats both of these guys. It's kind of a weird deal here. Grady's special. But when you heat him up a little bit, he's still a good player. But now we've come to my favorite part of the game, favorite part of the show. Find the fish. And today, I'm sorry to say, because he doesn't deserve this, but the kid who came in for Matt Nelson when he got hurt, Colby Sorsdahl, if you're playing this week against Rashawn Gary, ladies and gentlemen, we have found the fish. This guy I couldn't do it. I'm not talking bad about him, but the 5th round pick in the 2023 draft, I don't know where he's from, is not prepared for what is about to happen if he's got to play Rashawn Gary in this offense with the way they move people around. He is going to get that right there. He's going to get absolutely hammered. That right there is a eyes wide open, maybe too wide open look. You're standing almost straight up and down. I can see both gloves. So in other words, you're just saying, love me, hit me right in the chest as hard as you can and never let me go, right? I mean, this guy is going to get absolutely just manhandled. He's got handlebars on his chest right now. He's giving it up. He's giving up the bull. He's too high. I mean, if you're Rashawn Gary watching this tape, you're going, man, I'm going to go 3 steps and just jack this guy right in the jaw. I mean, that is a problem. Bud Dupree is kind of sneaky with some of this long arm stuff. He has longer leverage. He's longer limbs and leverage than you think. He's nowhere near the rusher that even like an Edenbari from a speed to power move. it could be a real problem if this guy has to play. It could be a real problem for Goff. You see the two inside guys here creating a little bit of havoc. And you're just trying to get around him because now when he's heated up, bad things happen. We get hands on this ball. They end up getting a high tip. This could have been a pick. It ends up being a reception. But again, we don't look at the outcome. It's like, how do we heat this guy up and make him throw high? You throw high, bad things happen. Pressure equals picks. These interior guys, without Vitae, without Taylor Decker playing to move Penei Sewell back over to right tackle, it's different, okay? Now, the last thing we want to show is Jahmyr Gibbs. We had a real problem with Bijan Robinson and company. These guys aren't the same philosophy. Ben Johnson wants to throw the ball more than he wants to run it. He's better at the passing game and at the running game, okay? They're hurting with some guys. They still have all the talent at the receiver position and the tight end position. They don't have the talent at the offensive line position right now. That isn't necessarily their strength because of the injuries. This kid, Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know if he's Bijan Robinson because Bijan Robinson's already done some ridiculous stuff, but you watch him make the first guy miss here and you go, oh, problems. We got issues. We go motion. And right. Bye-bye. I mean, he's just another one of those guys. You get him in space, you got a real problem. He's just got that quick twitch. They get the double. Frank Ragnar's going to come off late on 55 here. Lions don't even block this right. But right here, once you get that look, I mean, he's got 10 yards of space between the two of them. He can go literally wherever he wants to go. You got no chance. And so we just don't want to get in this situation. And how do we stay out of it? Well, the first is, do we determine whether or not we're going to commit to the run? Do you want to commit to the run? Do you want to bring that guy up? If they're running a weak side zone a lot, are we going to bring the free safety up and make him just an overhanger right outside the box? Are we going to make them include the free safety in the count?